Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom, bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Gotta shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody, power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need, and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hey, this is the dude. If you don't listen to Can Crushers, I think you got into some of my gummies. Oh.
Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mark the Mark. That's Sir Michael Jenks. Yeah, if you listen to the Spotlight, you know I was going through some stuff this weekend. Still going through it. This is a wrestling podcast, but we always talk about our life. Right. So we'll get there. Howdy, sir. How are you?
Howdy, sir. I'm good. I'm hanging in there this week. It's just been a long week, but you know what? Kimberly's all moved in. It's fantastic. We're taking it room by room. I'm loving life right now. So I can't complain too much. And that's where we're at.
That is the start of happiness, the start of healthy relationship.
Yep.
And neither one of you are putting millions of miles on your car anymore. So yeah, that's cool. I am so happy for you guys. Like last week she was there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't official.
It wasn't official. We did the final Wednesday. We did the final. Here's your keys. Sayonara. Peace out. A-Town down. Type thing. And we did a lot of cleaning Monday night. Just doing that final cleaning of the apartment type thing. So that was fun Monday night. Now we're here Friday and we're full on here. Loving life. The dogs loving each other so much right now.
Of course they are. Oh,
Billy
still only hates one person in this world.
I don't know why. But what I will say, Kimberly just told me that apparently now every morning, because she gets up after me, gets ready and goes to work, Charlie, her dog, will come out of the room. He'll go find Bailey wherever she's sleeping at. They will sniff each other's noses, and then he gives her one lick on the nose. And then they'll just play for the rest of the morning and pass out in the afternoon. So
it's a great day for them.
They love it. They love each other right now. So it's fantastic. So everything's really good right now for us all over here.
That's awesome.
Yep. So it's pretty cool. But I know I'm going to ask the question, how are you? I know things are a bit tough right now, but how are you doing?
Jenks knows this story, so he's going to hear it. We really didn't preface to-dos and hellos prior because I'm like, you know what, I'm going to come on. I'm going to probably get emotional. Last weekend, right after recording, so much happened right after recording, and we'll get into the wrestling side of it. The OG Can Crusher dog, Miggy, took a turn for the worse, essentially. Was having some problems going to the bathroom, this, that, or the other. We had made an appointment for Tuesday, this past week. And that's why the Spotlight was just thrown together. And the first episode I've never edited. I did an intro, outro, slap stuff together. I don't know if it's even timed correctly. I didn't go back and listen to it. And I apologize to Cam Dakota. I wrote him a note, So he'll be returning. Not that his episode's bad. Right. But he's going to return to do something cool down the line here. Back to Miggy. Kelly and Ethan take him to the vet and continuously peeing blood and not pooping. Essentially, they do an ultrasound on him, and prostate's bad. There's, some stuff going on there. all signs leading to cancer, essentially. I get the call from work. Sometimes things like this, as you know, over the years, I'm glass very much half empty.
Yeah.
To completely dry.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What do they suggest? Got some meds for him, like 2-week meds to see what's going on. As soon as he gets home, I'm now home waiting for them, and we give him his first meds, and he throws them up, along with like 5 gallons of water.
No.
And I'm like, oh fuck, this is coming rather quickly because calm down, Callie's crying. Peanut butter does a trick to get him back down, yada yada yada, and he passes out for the rest of the night. We're just crying. We're making arrangements. We're like, what's going on? He can't be by himself. I'll burn up my vacation until I don't care at this time. You know, we're doing everything. That was Tuesday. Wednesday, Ethan steps up. Listen, kudos to Ethan, made the high honor roll again. I'm staying home with him. Awesome. Dude, I love you. I'm going to start crying, being the tingles right now. Cool. You do your thing. I'm prefacing work today. The phone call comes from you or Mom. The guys better hold on to the back of the truck. I'm out of there. Okay, told all the guys, we understand. This is your boy. I'm like, yes. Nothing. Continuous, going to the bathroom, blood. Okay. Thursday comes around, he's kind of got like 2.5 days of meds in, and it's changed a little bit. It's not blood anymore, it's brown, so Mark's like, oh my God, and I know this is very graphic, I apologize. I'm like, holy crap, now things are, I don't know the realm of where it should have went. Right. It went from red to brown, and I'm like, shit, shutting down. As recording, I didn't go in Friday, and I'm like, this is it. 3 days of meds in him now, and it's yellow again. And he's never not stopped being Miggy. Like, we're the ones that are beating ourselves up. He's still got the smiles. He's still got the loves.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's always the owner that does it, because you're like, oh man, what else could I have done? What could I do? Trying to take care of him, trying to figure that out so much. I didn't mean to cut you off, but no. I know, I get it.
So we're on, and he's normal. He's peeing, he's pooping. We have to let the meds run for the next essentially 10 days now. There's a mass still that we have to wait and see down the line. So I'm still prefaced there to know something could or has come, whatever. But, yeah, folks, that has been my week. I've canceled basketball games. I moved a plethora of interviews. So if you are listening and you had your interview scheduled for this week, thank you. You guys also know, the ones that I have had to shift stuff around with and everything, what's going on in my life. A couple of you have been on the show a couple times, so you are family, so you understand. It's been a whirlwind of nobody's letting Miggy be home because Jenks, me, everybody, if this comes, we don't want him alone. Not Max is here.
Right. But
Max is now understanding something's up with my brother.
Yeah.
We have him in a diaper now. Whatever. But if he's gonna wear a diaper the rest of his life and it's 25 more years and I go before him, that's my goal. It really is. We're calling a spade. I understand that they made a golden retriever 36 years old then, and that would be a world record for Ethan.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But he doesn't know he's sick, but we do.
Yeah.
And it breaks our heart.
I've gone down this road so many times with multiple dogs. They know something's up, but it's weird because once they know what's up and they go through it, as soon as it happens again, they're right on it, and they will immediately, like, obviously, hopefully it's not something that happens a lot, but when my dog Mackenzie, actually Savannah, who just passed away last year, she saw my one dog Chubby pass away, and then when Mackenzie, my other dog, they were both Border Collie mixes, took a turn, she immediately knew what was going on and immediately was like stressed out.
Yep.
And you start getting the toughs, you got to calm them down. So it's rough watching them go through that. You're going through it, but it's also rough watching the dogs because in Mac's case this time, he's so confused by what's happening and he's just not, like you said, he knows something's wrong, but he doesn't know what's wrong.
Right.
And it's just tough. Because they're your family. They're your kids, you know. But, man, that's rough.
Many dogs in life. And each one is, the passing of each one kind of happened differently, yada, yada, yada. They all hit different. They are all, like you said, they're all a kid. So you never want your kids to go or anything. So it's just, it's so rough that me and Cal laid in bed on Tuesday. I helped Mig up in between, and all three of us were talking. Miggy was talking to us, and yada, yada, yada. We use a stupid voice and everything. Once he finally fell asleep and kind of got comfortable, I did say to Cal, I'm like, he has no clue that he's sick. He no clue what's going on. He just thinks, oh crap, I can't poop again today. I hope somebody gives me an X-Lax or something.
Right.
He doesn't know the whole totality of it.
Yeah. So is he basically just acting normal at this point? Like, besides the whole issues, he's acting normal. Yeah.
Outright normal. He'll play for, listen, he's 11. He has lost like 15 pounds. But he'll play his hour out of the day. He'll sleep 23 and a half hours out of the day. Right. He gets up when mom comes home. He gets up when he's doing his normal things. It's just when it's outside time you get slapped out of reality again. You're like, holy moly. I mean, it was, again, just unbelievable amounts. And it's just, boom, Mark shut down. And I'm like, the only thing I care about the rest of the week, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
A girl hit 1,000 points. It wasn't at that game, this, that, and the other. I mean, I've reached out to them, kind of, and it's, even our socials for Can Crushers has been very lackluster since Tuesday because I don't even want my phone in my hand. I am literally either, I read a couple books, and we'll get to those, or I'm just sitting next to Miggy, just, hey buddy, we're here, what do you want to do? What do you want to talk about? He just looks, there's days that there was eyes that weren't there. Today, he was a complete asshole. He's Miggy. He's completely Miggy again. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what you did, but I love it. Thank you. But again, we're not over the hump, so
yeah,
we'll see.
But you're on the right path. So that's what matters.
I completely believe we're on the right path. I really, really do. I don't know. Kel knows what all the meds are. Really, really.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. She does the morning meds because there's a plethora of them, and I'll do like the nighttime med, which is one. I'm responsible for that one because that's all that I can remember. But he takes them and just a little hint of peanut butter on him, and he thinks, oh, I'm getting another treat. That's her.
So he's got to have the peanut butter.
Oh, he's a pampered baby. Yes, he's had to have peanut butter since he was a child on stuff.
Oh my God. See, here's the wild thing. Bailey, no, I haven't tried actual pills. Well, no, I did do pills with her when she was younger for her heartworm. But the heart medicine that I give her, like, the heartworm medicine that they have, I say, want a treat? She'll come right up. I just chuck it at her and she eats it. And that's it. That is, I don't know how that happened, But I'm like,
probably because you called it a treat and not pill.
Yeah.
Because we're like, come on, buddy, let's take your medicine. We're telling him that this is something that he doesn't want.
Now, Charlie, on the other hand, routinely will put up a fight for the medicine because he doesn't like it. Which that's how dogs are. It's just the way that they are. They will fight you tooth and nail to not take that damn pill. He's gotten us before. He pretends to swallow. That's how much he's crafted his game over the past 7 years that he's been alive. He will pretend to swallow and then will back away, and then all of a sudden he goes and just spits it right out on the counter. And we look at him like, you gotta be kidding me.
Max will roll, if it's a pill, Max will roll the pill around in his mouth.
Yeah.
To get the peanut butter off.
Oh, yeah.
And then gag. Like, we're forcing it. So.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love him. You just gotta love him. But I'm glad he's doing better. And hopefully he continues on the right path so he can continue bothering you guys and being around you guys for like 10 years.
Minimum.
Or whatever. Minimum.
I agree. He is just something. So that was my week. So
that's fair.
That's where we are. But I do want to jump right into this.
What you got?
It was 3 seconds after we hit the stop button last week.
Oh, yeah.
Legit. 3 seconds. And I'm not calling it back. I don't know where we're going to put this in, how, whatever.
Yeah.
Jenks sends me a text. Vince McMahon just resigned.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. It was bound to happen. We talked about it last week. It was bound to happen. Everything he did, basically, I guess allegedly, technically still, but whatever. It was coming, and now reports are we're striking everybody. Yeah. More
people have come out of the woodwork. I actually posted that story when I was scrolling real quick. More people are coming out of the woodwork now to talk about this. Possible that's why him and Shane had their riff. Clearly it's why Steph and him had their riff.
Yep. Although I did see today, the first time she left was not related to that or was not a part of the whole thing. However, the second time when he did come back, it was all part of that. Because of him coming back, she's like, I don't want any part of this, which rightfully so at that point. Like, I'm not putting up with that shit. You know what I mean? So.
Let me say this to you.
Yeah.
I love stirring it.
Stir that.
Triple H, how long do you think? I mean, who, and this is very hypothetical because I don't want to give names, but very hypothetical. What superstars, what other people knew about this and how is the ramifications going to come?
That's the $1 million question. Obviously, some of those key people have already left the company and may have saw the writing on the wall, knowing it's coming down, shit's flowing down the pipe, basically. The question is, how deep does it go? Does it go deeper? Obviously, it's probably going deeper than Brock. It's probably going deeper than Trips and all of that stuff. Did Trips know? Does Sean know? Does this person, that person, da-da-da-da-da-da-da? I think there's a big tidal wave coming of just people who knew, and it's about to hit. Because you think about it, a lot of this stuff happened in the early 2000s. A lot of the producers now, some are young, some are indies. A lot of them were early 2000s wrestlers in that.
Yeah.
I think there's
we mention Brock all the time because he's allegedly, I'll put it that way.
He's allegedly the man.
In the lawsuit.
Yeah.
The way that it's, he's getting pulled from the WWE card games. Mm-hmm. It's the possibility that imagine work them out of 2K.
Yeah, they got to. Yeah.
I mean, they got to. It's probably a file. Just boom, delete it or turn it off. Make it if he comes out smelling like roses, okay, he's now a DLC by himself. Go buy it or whatever.
Yeah.
To turn that whatever back on, or it doesn't matter. He doesn't need to be in the game this year, essentially. Right. But yeah, he's getting pulled from stuff. Yada yada yada. And I want to mention one thing. Eric Bischoff compares Vince now to Benoit across the board.
He's not the first person I've heard say that. And Vince is going to have a bad stigma on his name in the company that he ran for 40 years, 45, whatever the hell it ended up being. He's not wrong. And it obviously, you're comparing apples to oranges, horrific, rotten apples to oranges on that one. But at the same time, he's not wrong. You're not going to mention the man, especially while there's an active lawsuit, especially when you're trying to investigate it, when you're trying to run a business. They're distancing themselves as far away as possible from this and trying to do it in the best manner possible. Because you're trying to save face at this point, even though the company wasn't a part of TKO Endeavor at that time, or when this was all happening, the company's got to do damage control and just clean house at this point.
Yeah.
We said The Rock being named to the board of directors, shit was rolling downhill at that point. And then everything came out last Thursday and we understood why. There's going to be people put in place to take over these decisions, and that WWE is going to might have to go through a renaissance right now. But I will say this. I don't think they do anything until after Mania.
I was going to say the same thing. If they do a major overhaul, it won't be till after Mania. Even if they would, I don't think ratings-wise or money-wise or anything like that to the normal folk, me, you, people that don't have millions and trillions of dollars,
right?
It doesn't affect them until after Mania, because as much as Steph says stuff's written for a year, we saw that this week when we do start talking about wrestling, how the landscape of Mania has changed
significantly. Yeah.
So whatever. But by now, the parts are rolling into place. If producer Bob is running that one, it might be a little hard tell to switch him if he's going to be fired or whatever.
Right.
That I don't want to say understand it, because the business is a business. Fuck, we'll figure out how to do this without producer Bob.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Nothing like this, because the biggest thing in wrestling is happening in 3 months now.
Mm-hmm. It's the biggest night. They've been amping this up for a year almost. But this happened last year too, when we were talking about the sale and who was going to buy it, and that they purposely waited until after Mania, or is it Thursday after Mania, Tuesday after Mania? Boom, TKO Endeavor's buying this and everything's transitioning over to them. Okay, we got the understanding at that point. So now it's an involuntary renaissance of sorts of how you're going to run your company. Yes, they have creative, they probably have plans out for a year. Obviously, wrestling injuries and all that stuff can change it. It's now also who you can put in charge. It's not, Nick Khan is there to be a businessman. He's not there to do the wrestling content. So they're going to be looking, obviously, internally, but they're going to have to pull externally. This is going to change a lot of happening. People have been given a lot of shit to AEW right now about the way they're running their programs and all that. Now, I'm not saying they're stealing producers and all that. I'm just going to prepare everybody. The product's going to get a lot similar very quickly.
Yep.
And you're not going to, and then it's going to be the old heads, nothing against you, but you're going to probably move away from it because the product has just completely leveled off where it's at.
Agreed. Agreed 100%, because it's not even a pun. It just there's a new era of WWE pounding on the door right now. It's just when they're going to open that door.
Yep.
Because of everything that's happened. I would suspect that you're going to see more names dropped. They're going to be gone. They're going to be gone because maybe they walked by an office when it took place, or they knew just all the ramifications that are out there. This is going to open a wound that for WWE headquarters, it's going to hurt for a long time. Transition it to the superstars, and we'll get to breaking down a Rumble and everything. The superstars, men, women, across the board, are fucking killing it right now.
Yeah.
So, if anything, they're distancing themselves, saying, we're not part of that product. Look what we're doing. We can do this.
Yep, exactly. They're taking the time. They're saying, we're going to change your mind about everything that's going on around the world. But let's take another step on that. The ramifications to stories or anything that they're trying to tell was already felt this past weekend when you had Braun Breaker come in and take Brock's spot. Dom was allegedly supposed to eliminate Brock, and that was supposed to be a program in Perth. Do you imagine Dom's career even facing Brock Lesnar for 13 seconds in a match?
Right.
Dom, he's already on a skyrocket. We love Dom. But now that gets stripped away from him. He's got to go do something else. It's these little things, these threads that you want to pull on, but now because people have made terrible decisions, horrible, it's pulling the threads out and it's destroying storylines along the way. I'm not trying to bring this back to that, but there's ramifications to what you're seeing. We talked about the stories. We've talked about the people, the superstars. The superstars are going to continue to kill it because their one goal is to distract you from everything that's happening behind the curtain.
Yep.
That's why the next 2 months leading up to Mania at least is going to be probably a chef's kiss of a product because it's going to be they're cooking with good storylines. Trips is still in place. They're cooking with good storylines. Despite that, the talent is running the show with what they can do because they can actually show their talent now. So they're in the in-between where they're going to distract you as much as possible and say, we're going for it. We're talented. We're not a part of it. So we're going to do our own thing. It's the in-between. The old school, you said they were pounding. It's about to kick that door right in, and they're about to be absorbed into that old school. Interesting enough, two of the more prominent players in WWE, screen time, probably in the back, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis, come from smaller companies. A little bit of independence back to them.
Yeah.
Gotta imagine they'd shoot right to the...
They get some sniffing.
And they shoot right to the moon as higher-ups at the program if a lot of people start falling.
Yeah. I would bet. All this was one that I instantly thought, did some stuff early in WWE, then went to TNA, Mag, did his whole NWA run, did it baby in the WWE business.
Yep.
But elder around the wrestling world. Same thing with Scraps, too.
Same thing with Scraps. Listen, Bloodline, maybe that's going to wrap up sooner rather than later. Heyman's going to be, who knows if Heyman's part of it, but we don't know. But Heyman's another prime candidate. There's the people are in line to step up.
You make the call. Hey, they're working with TNA now, as we saw. Again, we'll get to Rumble. I know everybody wants their thoughts, but they're working with TNA. Well, maybe there's a producer back there that contract running to an end was an old WWE fan. Maybe Scott D'Amore, and I know Scott D'Amore is TNA through and through, but hey, here's $20 kajillion. Make your way over. Or there's places like OVW with some random guy in a head. Maybe Al can go. I mean, I'm just saying Al now, and I'm not even doing anything for him for collar and elbow yet, but, you know, maybe Al goes. Maybe we call Steamboat. Maybe people.
Steamboat,
hey, Sting's retiring in fucking 28 days.
Yeah. Who was in charge when Sting was with WWE, long gone. That opportunity is there. The flip side of that is a lot of the old talking heads that were in WWE are in AEW. Do they come over? But again, you're playing that game of they were here for 20 years. Did you know? And if you know, stay away. Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole investigation that they're going to do for this internally is going to take the list from what could be 500 candidates down to maybe 12.
And this isn't going to be something that's wrapped up in a month.
No.
They're just getting all their documents. I don't even know if sorted is the correct word. They're just starting to look for their documents now. In this deep diving. This could be years.
Oh, this is going to definitely be years. And I think what you see when we talk about maybe something's going to happen after Mania, it's the blatantly obvious ones that are named that happen after Mania. They just happen to be right at the top of the pile. So then you take the top of the pile off. Then over the next year, there's going to be more and more and more of the pile.
You want some immunity from this? Give me more names.
Names. Give me a name. We'll talk. Give me more. Give me 5 names. We'll talk.
Yeah.
What do you know? What do you know? You've been here 3 days. You're not going to know much. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd run if I were you.
Yeah, I would run too because they're coming. They're going to ask everybody.
So, again, that was something big. Last week we said we'll touch when it maybe gets a court or something like that. We didn't expect that to happen.
No.
That quick. We knew it was coming, but not less than 24 hours after it was completely released.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's a good point for this at all, but I'm glad he had enough balls within 24 hours to say, fuck.
Well, maybe so. Maybe not. Because there was an emergency meeting on Friday.
Right.
So my thought, I don't know what happened. I could speculate. We could speculate that either he did or they said, you're gonna.
One of two chances.
You got two choices. You do it yourself, we do it too.
Right.
Because that's how the corporate businesses work. Is if you're there a long time, you're high up like that, you're taking yourself out of the ball game if something's coming up against you.
I will bring up one more thing about this. Ronda Rousey throws out. Oh, why can't I think of his name right now? Shit.
What? Bruce. Bruce.
Yeah, Brother Love, essentially.
Yeah.
On a tweet, it said, last time Vince left, in air quotes, and I'm paraphrasing, last time Vince left, he really didn't leave because Pritchard was running everything via Vince from Connecticut or wherever he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's been his right-hand man for years. Years. So, and I'm not alligating or anything like this. I'm just responding to a tweet because I don't want involved into this.
No,
that's why I'm
no
tiptoeing around this, saying that he knew or he was part of or anything like that. But Ronda was in the backstage. I mean, as much as we shit on her, that takes a lot from Ronda to step up because, listen, as wrestling fans, we're like, oh my God, thank God she's done.
Yeah.
she said the same thing. Her wrestling time is officially done. She doesn't care anymore, essentially.
Yeah.
Know who I'd also like to hear from, and I never liked her? Wonder if Lacey Evans knows anything about this, because she's a blonde bombshell.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Ryback's talking about it, though.
Ryback is... He should probably get an attorney because he's probably going to say too much. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Agreed.
So that's the hottest of hot topics. Before we hit record, because we have to go down this path, to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, to get into Rumble so we can get excited and everything. You said, what? You're buying something.
I gotta buy a game. I have to buy Madden 24. No, not Power Wash Simulator. I gotta buy Madden 24. I have been informed that one Daniel Mucci has bought a PS4 and has bought Madden 24 and plays it regularly.
I can play against you guys.
I know.
Downloaded.
I know. So it's got very interesting about this.
It's only like 30.
It's like $20 or $20-$30 now. Yeah. But like I said earlier, I'm like, if I'm going to buy something new, why would I buy now? But now it's very intriguing to beat him 100-0 again. It's been 14 years since I did that.
But why not try?
Yeah, why not try again? I haven't told it, and you guys haven't heard these. I don't think I've said this on here, but we used to play. Moochie and I used to play all the time. We'd go over to our friend Manny's house. We'd have a couple Madden games. He would lose 100-14, 100-13 usually. I spotted him 13 points in one game, scored 95. You know, he's one of a kind at it, that's for sure. So
sounds worse than I am. I lost. Nathaniel and I, Cunningham, didn't get to play this week or the last couple of weeks because new baby and my life and everything. We haven't played since I've lost that game, and he probably thinks, oh, this puss bag. And he wasn't even a team that I lost to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's fun.
I'll tell you what, though, I have to refine my defensive skills because when I started playing, I just solely became when it was by myself, I solely became an offensive coordinator, basically. Was playing offense only. So now I got to refine this defensive prowess that I have and get ready for this. But
side note, just to tell you, because I scrapped the Virginia Beach because I do this with franchises.
Yeah.
It wasn't building up enough for me. It wasn't
good enough for you.
I moved in mid-season, and it made me mad. So I did start another one this week when kind of everybody was relaxing, and I just took a little bit of time to myself. I said, I'm going to be the Bears. I want to play in snow. I will relocate them the start of next year.
Yeah.
But I want to just do something. So I picked the Bears. I'm taking everybody that I enjoyed over the last couple of years at Pitt, and I'm putting them on the team. So Clancy's on the team for you to know, and Shavassi Dennis, and Candace, my running back, and laugh everybody. Kenny Pickett is my quarterback, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And I just want to be them as the Bears. And I'm 1-0. I played a game. And now during the Chicago home game that I played at, and I know they've used or are going to use, because I will guarantee you this, they have put in what they're going to use for NCAA football or college, for whatever the hell they're calling it.
Yeah.
We're calling it NCAA from here on out. You guys know what we're talking about. They have definitely put in things for Madden to transition to NCAA, because I know for a fact, anytime I've played the Bears in my life, I've never heard a polka band or the Bears song at Soldier Field. I maybe thought in New York about the horn or the siren. I thought that may have been there.
Yeah.
And there's no way in fuck they've ever put a polka song or Let's Go Bears, yada, yada, yada.
No, they never did that, yeah.
Never did that. So this is definitely, they took some of the stuff this year, transitioned it over, which got me even more excited for July.
I'm pumped about it. Well, that was one of the things they were saying was they were working on that real fan experience. So obviously you got to test it on some market. NFL is already a franchise you had.
Even if I don't know if it's been for every stadium. Especially the stadiums.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Just get in there and go for it. Now, are you going to go when you move the Bears? You change in the name? You're going Anchorage.
I'm picking Alaska.
Fuck. I don't even know what the team names. Oh my God.
Dude, listen, it's week 1.
I get it.
I have the weekend off, and we'll see what rolls out from there. I can get a season done in a weekend. I know I can, but it's just going to be powering through. I have to see what's going on with Miggs and the family and everything. But I would love to move them to Anchorage by the time we record next week, just to see, because I don't remember the names. If God send me hate right now, if the Eskimos are there or something to do with Alaska,
100% believe
they can't be the Rattlers.
Yeah. 100%. Well, I mean, if you could have kept the Bears name, that would have worked.
I don't want the colors, though. Then I bet you have to keep the colors.
Okay, fair enough.
The Bears.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, okay.
The Anchorage is definitely where I'm moving them. I actually looked at all of them because when I did move, the family moved them to Virginia Beach when I was at Jets.
Yeah.
I didn't know, Brazil and Rio de Janeiro and there's places where are you kidding me? Why would
I know we're going down a rabbit hole, but I'm going to go anyways. Are you one of those people that has to, because I don't know Madden 24 if you can keep them aligned to their division or switch the division alignment, but would you pick a team that's in a division and then kind of move them south? So say I'm the Houston Texans and I'm in the south, so I'd move them to Mexico City because it makes sense. You know what I mean? So it still aligns with their division, or can you switch divisions around?
I don't know if it lets me switch the divisions.
I'm so weird that I have to be oh no, I got to do this and this and all that.
Well, they would be in the NFC North. They'd be the Northest team.
Well, that's true. They would still be in NFC North, but I guess that's fair. That's fair. They'd be in NFC North. And when I did it with the Bears in mind, when I did it with mine and I moved the Bears to Portland, I just changed them to the Lumberjacks. Terrible color scheme. I love that I moved them to Portland. Hate the color scheme of it. Deeply regret what I chose. So, but yeah.
So you're buying Madden. That's great. Good to hear.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, probably. Well, yeah. I was trying to avoid it, but now, you know what? Maybe I buy it, keep it for a year, buy the dual pack so you can get both of them.
Right.
But then that commits me to the PS5 instead of going to an Xbox. So it's a whole other flipping I'll figure my life out at some point.
I did preface that I'm in the, I didn't get love, but I didn't get hate that I'm buying the $120 WWE game when it comes out.
Dude. Let's talk. The WWE game looks fucking good.
I know. I did show her, because I know if I show her anything Roman, she instantly thinks of Max, because Max is part of the bloodline, our Max.
Yeah.
Because people are like, what the fuck are they talking about? Max is part of the bloodline, because that's his favorite wrestler. So I showed her the Roman picture. She's like, that looks amazing. And she could give two shits. She's like, that is so Roman. I'm like, I know.
Did you see
the version?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Did you see the China screen capture today?
I did. Did you see the leak of the casket match?
No, I did not see that yet.
Just a little clip of, I don't remember who the Undertaker slamming the door on. Man.
I saw the ambulance backing in for the ambulance match. That looked pretty sick.
Yeah, but then you have to hold the door closed and XYZ and stand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another bunch of money you got to put down. But at that point, I should be buying the system. So we do.
By March?
I think so, yeah. In March. That's my goal.
March 5th. Just go to the store, buy
whatever. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Whatever, and then buy your first next-gen game is 2K.
Funny enough, when I first bought the 360, my first game I bought was SmackDown vs. Raw 2007.
There you go.
Spent my time doing that.
Then we have, because I've come to terms I'm not buying baseball this year. Nothing against Vladdy that's on the cover. Nothing against them. Listen, I only bought it last year because Jeter was everything.
Yeah.
I have to take a break from it. Nothing has changed on it this year. Nothing's going to change in the next month because now we have players actually playing it online already. Just throwing that out there, showing previews of it. Nothing's going to change. I ain't buying it. So I can take that 120, put that towards 2K.
Yeah.
And then I have from March till July to burn myself out on that. And then I'm good to go. Even though Thug and Bones is officially coming out next weekend.
Oh, is that next weekend?
Pirate game.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was next weekend.
Yup. Some of a bitch.
Some of a bitch. Oh, hey, we didn't shout out Punxsutawney Phil here, giving us spring early this year.
We're 45 minutes into an intro.
I know. Well, welcome to Can Crushers, guys. This is your first time.
Trust me, segment 3 for me and AEW is not going to be long.
There really wasn't much. I mean, yeah, we could say, I shouldn't say there wasn't much. I mean, the cage match, obviously.
Right. We'll
get there. We'll get there when we get there.
But do you have anything else to bring up hot topic wrestling-wise? Before we break down WWE majorly. Everything has happened. Injuries, in segment 2.
Now, because I feel like when we touch on WWE, we can talk about different things that are coming in, coming out. So let's move it.
Guys, collar and elbow, hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool stuff that else known as hooligans have down there. Buy the hell out of it. It's awesome.
Yes.
I think I have. I do. Right now, I have my Macho Man inspired head and the purple one. I'm not pulling it up over. I'm wearing Detroit Tiger for a long time. I've had this for 5 years. Completely awesome, completely comfortable, always is in great shape. Go buy the hell out of all their stuff and use our promo code.
Can Crushers, save yourself 10% off from buying all of their great products there.
We have a WWE affiliate code, and it is in our show notes. And again, sometimes you get a discount if you want to buy the new Jade shirt, which looks actually really cool.
It does, yeah.
Sometimes you won't. But if you know you're going to buy the new Jade shirt or the new Punk shirt or the new Rock shirt or whomever shirt is coming out, you know you're going to buy it and you love listening to Can Crushers, it does help support us.
Yeah. Go ahead, take it.
You might get a discount, you mightn't.
Hey, take what you can get, guys. But thanks for supporting us nonetheless.
We have merch. That's also in the show notes.
Yeah. It's looking pretty good out there, guys.
I didn't get the approval for like the shot glasses and cups yet. So that I understand. They're probably busy too, but I thought they're like, oh, your logo's awesome. It's fine.
We have the greatest logo of all time, so it's just taking a while to put its greatness in the right shape and format on these. It'll happen.
Everything's in our show notes for that, or I post it usually once a week. Or if you're on CrowdMade, just type in Can Crushers, our store will pop up.
Yep. You'll find it.
And we have another new affiliate.
A new one?
I have used this for a week now. And I'll tell you, I will probably never drink another energy drink again.
Really?
Yes. Our new affiliate is Dubby. D-U-B-B-Y. It is essentially an energy drink. When you order, you order your tubs and you get a shaker. And you mix the allotted amounts that you want to fuels, this, that, and the other. And it's amazing. There's no colors, there's no fillers. You just turn on your spigot, put essentially 2 scoops in, shake her up, drink it. And I know you're not a huge energy drinker, but you know how after you have, and I'm not going to mention any of the other ones because I don't want to shame them. They've carried me in my life for a while. But you do get a little bit of a crash after, or you get a little bit of the bloatedness from the carbonation or this or that from it. There's no fillers. There's no artificial coloring. And this isn't even their shtick that they told me. They're like, promote it however you want to. It is water with the scoops in. There's no calories. There's all these types of things in. Shake the shit out of it and drink it. And Beachin' Peachin' tastes like a goddamn peach ring. That is my first, because they sent me some samplers. There's Dragonade, there's Beachin' Peachin'. There was a strawberry one, which, as a fruit, I love strawberries, but as a drink, anything strawberry drink-wise reminds me of the old Faygo Pop.
Right.
It's garbage.
Yeah. How many times have you said Beachin' Peachin' this week, though? Let's go off, because I know that's too fun to say.
A lot. I've told all the garbage men about it. I've told Ethan about it, which I don't condone Ethan drinking it yet. He took a nip of it, but he'll never, he's not, in our household, he's not old enough for energy drinks yet. Fuck yourself on your own rules. And I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying anybody that's up to me. But
I agree with that. I'm just laughing at the fact you said nip, just like he was like taking a sip of alcohol. You just took a nip of bourbon, nip of Dubby, nothing big, but yeah.
Well, Beachin' Peachin' is definitely my favorite. You go to Dubby.com, just search up Dubby. You can save 10% when you order anything from there as well. For just use Can Crushers again, and you'll save 10%. Listen, I've lived off of energy drinks. I really have. And I'll put something better together for this. This is literally the first one because I only got done doing them this week.
Customer testimonial right now. That's what this is.
It is. Because I've had this for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to promote it yet until I know if it's going to give me a third eye or anything like that. Listen, these people...
But you wear hats anyway. Somebody would tell.
Right. So I'm like, cool, I'll start promoting it after I try it. They're like, that's awesome. Yeah. But WDUBBY, when you buy something, use Can Crushers. You save 10% on all of it. It works. Trust me, because I haven't also had naps in the afternoon. Normally I'm done at 1 o'clock. Yeah. There's the time that there needs to be a nap or something before a basketball game. This week's a little bit different. I understand what I told you guys earlier, but I never felt like I needed a nap. And it was just from the 1 in the morning, not 1 a.m., but the one drink I had in the morning before I went to work, clarify that, had kept me awake and rejuvenated essentially all day.
Nice. So you're only doing one a day?
Yep. Nice. Compared to I used to have 2 or 3 cans of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So, if anything, it's taking my carbonated intake down and probably making me healthier. So, ta-da! Woo! It works. Where can you listen to us after I had my testimonial?
You know, you can listen to that great testimonial and the rest of the podcast on Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeart, any of those under the sun, but we would recommend you go to Podurama, where you can get a lifetime membership for 50% off right now. Seamlessly listen between devices. So from your Alexa to your computer to your phone, pick it up, listen to it wherever. You can hear those other wrestling podcasts too if you want to, but there are a plethora of other podcasts. Maybe you're in something else. Pick up Podurama. They can listen to us there.
Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, we're all on there. Come and join conversations that people are posting, people are having. It's always fun.
Yep. X is going to give it to you.
Yeah. Or if you'd like to have your own spotlight, you have a question that you want to ask us, cancrusher69@gmail.com is one way that you can reach out to us, or
you could call us on our lovely hotline that we have set up for you, 814-299-6687, up to 3 minutes in length. Not 25 calls in a row. It'll be all fantastic. Yeah, damn Mochi. He'll probably stop that after we beat him in Madden. So
Yes. I'll even be like, I don't know, the Panthers and beat him.
CJ Stroud.
No, Bryce Young, not CJ Stroud.
Oh,
the Panthers.
Yeah, it's Bryce. I got him confused. Let me be.
I'll even start Dalton against Mooch. All right. When we come back, we'll discuss the Royal Rumble and Monday Night Raw and anything that kind of lingers off of that in segment number 2.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey there, this is Kaya McKenna, the conduit of karma, and you're listening to the Can Crushers podcast.
Welcome back, Can Crushers fans. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being part of our family. Segment 1, a little bit rough for all of us, so many different reasons, but now we're going to talk wrestling because it's cool. This is what this podcast is about. We love sharing what we're doing in, our life with you because it bonds us together. It makes us all a big happy family. So, took a moment, essentially. Jenks' dogs are having their own.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
In the background. That's okay though. But I'm so glad that, we used, the opening segment for both of us as a time to release for us. And, I know I've told some of you about the dogs, this, that, and the other. And, some of you have reached out because others have told you. So that's that. But it is time for the Rumble. And before Jenks gets back, I will let you guys know SmackDown, we're not going to cover it this week because of everything led to Saturday night. And it really didn't matter because it led to what we saw Saturday. And he has returned. Headsets going on. He's good to go. Rumble.
Yay, ha. Let's rumble. Rumble in the jungle, wherever.
I was so pumped to see Punk FaceTiming Larry.
That was amazing.
I was happy to see R-Truth throwing batting practice, essentially. I was angered when a clip came across to reveal somebody in the Women's Rumble when they were pseudo-practicing.
Yeah.
The sticks of when to pop up stuff on the Videotrons. We knew that people from NXT were coming.
Right.
Didn't anybody that watched Randy's package of him coming into the arena knew that Roxanne was right behind him?
I'm wondering if they did and they were just like, well, they had to figure somebody would be coming up from NXT. I think because of the surprises that we had after that we got, they're probably like, well, Roxanne Perez has already been in the Rumble. They know she's going to be there. You know what I mean? But no, I thought the same thing. I was like, why would you not, or even like post-editing, just put something up over it?
It's a green screen, essentially.
Exactly. Just black screen, something. Just don't let it. You could just have somebody with a curtain or something if you're going to do that. But
I don't know why it made me so mad because you're right. She has been in Rumble before.
Well, it got me mad because I'm like, well, I already know who one of these people are. And like at that time I had my phone, I was going to text you and be like, well, we know who's coming out. Roxanne's coming out at some point. But
I did see though.
At least at what you did, I just didn't. We were in the middle. At least it wasn't
one of the huge surprises.
Yeah, I agree. There was bigger surprises that we were like, okay, whatever, Roxanne, that is what it is. So, yeah.
Did you think Pat was coming back?
No, I had no idea Pat was coming back. But at the same time, I was like, all right, that's cool, Pat's back. Didn't realize it was for full time either, but
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Somebody's excited. I put, let's fucking go! Instead of text to Jenks. So the Women's Rumble starts the night off, and we're not going to tell you in order, even though I did write them down in order. And I'll ruin this right now. This was my favorite match of the night, the Women's Rumble.
100%. Everything else kind of just paled in comparison. The Women's Rumble has been the best Rumble at least since 2020, I think. To be honest. And because
there was some times that I'm like, but overall,
yeah, even those times you're like, nah, this is engaging. This has me hooked. Because you look at, to me, the Women's Rumble feels more natural, feels more organic. And I'm going to get the hate because I thought about this earlier, and I'm going to get the hate on this, but I'm going to say it anyways. This feels like early Royal Rumble matches.
Yep.
Because it's establishing a new Rumble for the women, but it's also in its infancy. So you don't know what to expect, who to come out, because they don't have a lot of legends that they can pick and pluck and put into these matches right now. And as you saw today, on Saturday, they didn't have any that they really leaned on. They just let the women go. They had other surprises pluck in there, but they let the women of today cook in this match.
And that was a lot of heat across the board. I'm glad you brought up legends before we break us down. People were angry that we didn't get legends in either return. It's sticky, and I don't mean like with your hand sticky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's a shtick that we don't need it every year, because do we really think one of the Bushwhackers are going to win the Royal Rumble? Is Santino Marella, I know he's in TNA, is going to win the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
It's cool to see him. We can use those for other pay-per-views. Why can't he do something at Roadblock or where the hell the garbage pay-per-views? Let legends come out to those.
Yep. No, that's because then it brings notoriety to those pay-per-views. It also brings eyes to them. That's why Backlash worked last year, because they had Carlito. They had legends pop up to kind of get that show going on. People can get more engaged in it as well.
We both picked Bayley to win this. Written down. We both won. But I was worried. I was worried early.
We talked about that early.
And I'm like, Bayley coming at 3. And then everybody came in, and Bayley was saving Asuka. Bayley was saving this. And I'm like, the writing's on the wall. When Bayley this is what I said to Jenks. When Bayley needs saved, they're not going to save her. Mm-hmm. And before I sent the text, or as I was sending the text, the Kabuki Warriors were gone.
Yeah. They were shipped. They were shipped right out of there, lack of better terms. But it was wild. Like, I thought they were going to hang around for a long time and factor into the end of it.
Yeah. I did too. I thought this is where the turn came, and then with Bayley being so early last Saturday, my head thought, well, this is Becky's then. They are going to give it to Becky. This is where the break's going to come between damage control, yada, yada, yada. And I was fine with either scenario. I just wanted to book it in my head.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Bayley to break records.
Mm-mm.
And I'm glad she did.
Especially records that had just been set 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Like, essentially that was it. I mean, she pulled the Ric Flair. Entered 3, won the whole thing.
Yeah.
All we needed was Heenan just getting upset on the microphone.
I loved that Jordan Grace was there. Yeah. Loved that Jordan Grace was there. Kelly is upstairs going nuts about something. I don't know what, but if you hear her, I apologize. I love that Jordan Garrius was there and wore the title out and had a fucking strong showing.
Yeah. She had a major showing. She did the Trinity face-off was fantastic. Well, Naomi face-off was fantastic. She did feats of strength. The standoff with Bianca could sell tickets to Manias left and right. People were eating that up when they both walked out of the corner with Becky, and I can't remember who was on the other hand. They just had him pressed, threw him back, and in the face-off, Jordan Grace was put on strong display here, and it was fantastic. And that's what they need to do, especially if you're going to use that talent from other organizations. Don't bury them.
No.
Make them strong.
Yeah, and they did. I did like the hug with Naomi. I did like that.
Warms the heart.
Ethan's now home, so Max is going to go nuts.
Hi, Ethan.
Kairi Sane comes out, and Corey brings up the company, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Corey, you're, I don't want to say one of the elders, but you're normally one of the talking heads. Was that a slip? What the fuck?
I don't know. Maybe they're letting that fly a little bit more now. It's enticing people to kind of, hey, we'll mention other people now. Let's bring you in here, but we're going to mention other people now.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
Listen, when you're programmed for 40
years that you don't mention the other organizations, it catches you off guard. 100%.
Especially AEW does it, and I'm mad if they don't.
Yeah.
WWE does it, I'm like, whoa, I don't believe, because number 2 mentions number 1 because they want the rub.
The notoriety.
Number 1 never mentions number 2 because they're not in their rearview mirror.
Exactly. Well, that's where, when Sami Zayn dropped in 2006, whatever that was, it was a big deal when he dropped AEW. When, you thought about, who was it? Oh, when Mickie James made the Rumble as the first Impact champion. Yes, she's a WWE legend. They didn't build up or really talk up what that was and how monumental that was, but that's what made that moment special, is because, oh my God, they've kicked down a forbidden door here with this. This time they've treated the companies with respect, and they're understanding, hey, listen, besides AEW, there's other organizations that we can kind of build up and bring up, much like they did with ECW back in the day.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of rub.
Carter, cool elimination of Kairi Sane. I understand it's the Spider-Man thing,
or
whatever, on the subway. To do that is uber athletic. I thought it was
100%.
Chelsea Green had the worst entrance. Chelsea Green had, to me, the worst. I understand it was her shtick for the Rumble. She's going to be that in Rumbles. Man, it really bummed me because I was hoping Chelsea would be away from this tag team era then.
Yeah.
And slide in. No. Pat brought up the Hardy Boys when Vega did the flip. Well, it was kind of Hardy-ish. Then 2 seconds later, you mean it was hardly hit? I think it's what Corey Graves said.
Corey was trying to back that up so bad.
Yeah. The Man and Nia, boom, right after each other. Number 24, the winner of the Rumble, R-Truth.
That was so good. And Valhalla, first of all, Michael Cole talking up Valhalla's antlers, which was just out of left field. And then R-Truth coming out, I cackled because I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? It's so obvious, but at the same time, it was like, oh. But then he tops it later in the night. We'll get there when we get there. He just tops it later in the night. But also Valhalla getting in, getting eliminated, and then you just see her trying to jump at Truth from the background. And it was just a whole calamity that was just hilarious.
R-Truth is laughing the whole way to the bank.
Oh, yeah.
So, people, what else did you notice besides, like, Liv returned, Stratton looked good in it?
Yeah. I was surprised Stratton was in it, which was fantastic. You know, we talked about Roxanne and all that. I love the timers. I love that these new timers, they tell you, instead of the guys telling you, oh, they've been in there for 58 minutes, which they'll mention still, they had the timers running. Fantastic. That's cool.
Why not 25 years ago?
Years ago. Exactly. Why not just pop a time up there and say, okay, he's been in here for 25 minutes. You know, it makes it cool like that. I think that was pretty sweet. Obviously, we can talk up Miss Cargill to the lifting Nia versus anything.
I saw this, and I can't say who said it because I don't remember. That one Royal Rumble, how long was she in? When did she come in? I have it written down. She came down at 28. Yeah. So she was in for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Not even. Whatever.
Yeah.
10 minutes. She was in 10 minutes. Her 10 minutes in her first WWE match, which it wasn't a singles match, built her up so much better than a 900-day TBS championship was.
100%. Because it felt real, felt legitimate. There was legitimate world title contenders in there, former women's champions in the match. So when you stand up to a Becky, to eliminate a Nia, stand up to Bianca,
stare down Bianca,
yeah, it's making things more legitimate and giving you a very threat level orange type mentality.
Yeah. Enjoyed every part of this. A couple people came out and said Maxine needs to go away. That was the spots. I was heard Shotzi. I don't know if Shotzi. I'll take the hate on Shotzi. I don't know if Shotzi is a multi-woman match material. You've seen it in Money in the Banks. You've seen it in just maybe Survivor Series matches. She's good. I've seen her at IWC. I've seen her other places. I just think maybe she gets convoluted or lost in the shuffle. Her and Maxine, when they were both in, that's where I'm like,
yeah.
Maxine's never went through the PC. Never, her training is legit from the Alpha Academy.
Yeah. I mean, Maxine, you're not expecting.
I'm not hating on her.
No. She's not there. She's green.
Yeah.
Shotzi, how do I operate in here? But the problem with Shotzi as well, and it's not a problem with her style, the way her hair is, and that it stands out. So you notice it more, and it just causes too much attention. And I think that puts a lot of pressure on her to try to deliver. And you have to figure out how you deliver these big spotlight matches to stand out when you're not suited to have the careless, reckless, talking ladder match, jumping off ladders and all that. You kind of you're there. So with the Rumble, it was kind of the same thing. It was, I'm here, I'm not making that big of a splash. Sometimes that's
a splash.
That's a splash. You just have to take that opportunity somehow. Make the most out of it.
I agree.
Chicken salad out of chicken shit. That's all it is.
Yep. So Bailey's the win. I'm laughing and they're having a full conversation loud upstairs. So, yeah. Slim Jim's is back.
You're fine.
Slim
Jim's is back. Yeah, that's fair.
From Slim Jim we're done, see you later, goodbye, to, hey, LA Knight is not Macho Man, by the way.
No, nowhere close.
No.
They had to bring Macho Man in just to do this make the commercial work.
They did. I was shocked that the Fatal 4-Way was next.
I was too. And then I'm like, oh, they just did this so Roman would sit sweet during it. Kind of thing. But Yeah. So, but it still caught me off guard because I'm like, well, how do you go? The Logan and Kevin match was not going to be on the same territory as this.
No.
So you're kind of just going down.
Quickly.
Very quickly. So how are you supposed to pick it back up? That's tough. It's a tough spot. I mean, 2's usually the death spot, but I think in this environment with the Rumble, it's definitely 3 was the death spot.
3 was yeah, because you're 2 hours into the pay-per-view now.
Yeah.
Essentially.
2 hours in, everybody wanted to see Randy fight for the title. They had a fan favorite in that match. Roman is still a commodity. AJ still a commodity. LA Knight's a fan favorite. So they're going to watch. KO and Logan Paul are essentially
the bathroom break.
We have to take the bathroom break at some point. And if KO's not in the main event, then we just got to sacrifice KO here.
Yeah. Fatal 4-way, no disqualification, no count out, no who the hell cares, da-da-da-da-da. I was hoping maybe we weren't going to get Solo. And listen, I am still stirring the pot. I love that this is the way that he's winning. And this is still part of the story when Rock does call him out. We'll get to some of this here shortly. When Rock calls him out for that Tribal Mania match or whatever we're going to have, that he needs people, that he's never done anything by himself. My big spot of this match, though, Samantha almost got killed.
Oh, my God. That barricade.
And the barricade went straight down. It was Solo.
But she was so close to the barricade and then Solo crashing through it that it was like, holy fuck. Like, nobody gave her the heads up to maybe move left.
When she moved like an inch. She's like, oh.
Yeah.
I would have been diving out of the way.
The fact that she's no longer fazed by those spots is amazing to me.
Yeah. Did you expect AJ to take the pin?
I would lie if I said yes fully, but at the same time, I have to say I'm not surprised because LA Knight's too hot still. And then you're not going to give it to Orton because Orton needs to look like the legitimate contender that he is. So
Orton wasn't even around the ring when that happened.
No. He dropped him with the RKO and then Solo happened and then that was it.
And then you had I don't know if I liked the ending. I mean, it adds to what you've predicted.
Yeah.
That LA Knight and AJ are going to fight at Mania, and this is be another layer that, listen, if you weren't in the way or you didn't hit the ropes, I was going to hit him with the forearm.
And then, if you didn't cost me this, it was their way of forcing the story to go in the direction that we thought it would go in. So, I mean, but I will say this, at the end of I did appreciate Roman taking everybody's finisher at some point in the match to add validity of it. And that RKO was so crisp. That was a crisp RKO out of that.
It was. I enjoyed the match, though. I did.
It was a good match. It was a very good match. I would agree.
So 2 for 2 for me. I know Logan Paul's full of douchery. I love it. I didn't hate this match.
Yeah. But it was the death match.
It was just I don't know. Paul talking to Graves was a little bit just have a match already, one of you.
Yeah.
Siri and Waller had to come out. I think adding that much to it when this was pseudo death match, it was too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Because when we talk about Waller and Theory, that felt forced. It didn't feel natural with Logan Paul. I get that they had a rivalry with Kevin Owens, but they really haven't been around Kevin Owens in the past couple of weeks. So the fact that they just get forced in there to kind of be showcased a little bit before the Rumble, a little too much on it.
And then the Knox with the DQ.
I love that ending.
The 1-2, then he looks
then
up.
Goes up. I thought it was a different way to end this. Logan Paul got his comeuppance. KO went for the pin, but just forgot to take the Knox off. And then it was shorts, and then you get caught. I mean, we talk about the refs
all the time.
We bitch about the refs being oblivious half the time. I mean, we talked about Aubrey Edwards missing the plate that Toni Storm had when she hit the running hip.
Hanging out of her ass. It
was hanging out, and it was literally right in her eye line. This one, you have to look at it from the ref saw logically, he saw brass in air quotes, and he had to call the bell. I mean, that's just it. To me, I love that ending because it wasn't the Nux ending, the traditional Nux ending.
Do we get a rematch at Perth, thus kicking off what we think Sammy somehow getting involved? Because Waller, in theory, you weren't bringing Sammy out for this because he was a surprise
for that
the next match, essentially. So you weren't bringing him out to save Kevin. Now that he's back, we maybe get a redo of this match at Perth, and Sammy comes out and helps KO this time, and yada, 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 and then maybe we get a cage match or something at
Mania or something. Yeah.
So.
It could happen. I just don't know. Whoa, we also could just get Logan Paul inside the chamber at that point, because what do we have? We got to figure out. Cody's got to announce.
We're going to have a lot of speculation.
We got a lot of speculation going on because somebody's got to do something here. But
new Tropicana field record 48,044.
Good thing they're closing. They can't even get 12 people in that arena. And I'm a Rays fan. And first of all, the good thing they got that record before it closes in 4 years.
Listen, I understand they just want to announce that they did something. Cool. They got 48,000 people there. Okay. Whatever you rounded it from. It's a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
So normally it only, and I'm being generous to the Rays before you start jumping on me.
Very generous.
15,000. That's when the Yankees are in town.
Yep. Yeah.
You get 15,000 people there a night.
Yeah.
Packed capacity for that with a baseball stadium is 25?
Yeah.
You had 20,000 seats just sporadically thrown all over the place. Of course you're going to break a record for a big pay-per-view like this.
100%.
You would have broken a record at fucking Roadblock.
Did you see the seat setup? Somebody pointed this out, and they tweeted it, and they're like, man, I would be really pissed if I was this guy and I had to look at fans for the whole night, because there was a whole section that was literally just looking at another section of fans. It wasn't even aimed.
Your body is facing straight, and you have to look to the right the whole time to look at like 90 degrees to the right.
Yeah. Like, if I'm constructing that stadium, you have to bring it in. Look, your line of sight should be at the ring, not. But then again, you throw 20,000 seats sporadically into the arena, that's all you're going to get.
Yep. So it's men's Rumble time. We both had different people winning it. Months ago, this was the Punks to win. Last week, you went Gunther. I said with what was going down with Seth, it had to be The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
We were both disappointed. I think they did the right thing, so I'm not going to hate on it.
Right.
We're going to do a quick Raw after this, and then so much more speculation. I will say this from number one. Jay comes out. Jenks says, wouldn't it be cool if Jimmy comes out? Boom. Instantly. I write back, here's your WrestleMania preview match.
Yep.
The minutes that they were in the ring was amazing.
Yeah, agreed.
Once other people started coming in, they then distanced themselves from each other, essentially. Why do I put Waller comes out talking? Oh, he was making fun of Jay. Okay.
Yeah.
Andrade at number 4. I loved.
I did love that.
Carmelo. Okay. Shinsuke. Pat gets up and dances. I am now ready to see Shinsuke every week again now. Downfall.
Go ahead.
He's not supposed to be dancing.
He's not supposed to be. However, he was matching the energy of the crowd because the crowd was singing Nakamura's song.
They were.
So whatever they tried to do this past 4 months has completely not worked.
And is it because Pat's back?
It might be
back. Want to see him do the stupid Nakamura stuff?
That could be. That could be very much the case. And I love that Cole and Corey were trying to talk him down and be like, no, we don't do that. You don't want to do that anymore. But
fuck it. I'm going.
I'm going for it.
Did you see the pseudo Judas effect from Andrade?
I did. Nice little nod there.
Dom had cowman boots, not cowboy boots.
Cowman boots, and apparently he dyed them in the toilet because he needed to. In prison, you gotta work with the resources you had, so he had to dye them in the toilet.
He's just in prison all the time anymore. All the time. Poor guy.
It's a mental prison. Once you go once, you're just you're trapped in there forever.
Touche. Kofi now is tied with Kane at 16 Rumbles. Should break it next year, right?
Yep.
Cool. Listen, I understand Braun Breaker wasn't supposed to be in it, and you throw him in, or maybe he was, because there's other talks that somebody else took Brock's spot.
Right.
We'll get to it here shortly. Don't tell me he was going 27 miles an hour running. That pissed me off. You're telling me then Braun Breaker is the fastest man in the WWE. He's running 27 miles an hour off of the ropes. How come we didn't hear this about in the women's then? It's the little things. I understand you're trying to build him up because, listen, he's officially, I would have to imagine he's on the main roster.
Yes,
we'll talk about it again. It'll happen on Raw. Don't tell me he's going 27 miles an hour. I didn't care. That angered me. I don't know why. It was just a stupid fact that nobody cares.
Yeah, well,
he's been in NXT forever. We know what he does.
Well, we're playing this game now. Do Raw people really know? People who watch Raw, do they really know how good Braun Breaker is on NXT? If they don't, then
this is his third Rumble.
Yeah, but if you only see him three times in 3 years, do you know? I mean, yeah, he showed up. I think he showed up on a Raw at one point.
I think so too.
But
Pat did not know he was part of this.
Surprise, surprise. He didn't want any part of it.
Gets in, almost on Braun. Look at him. As writings come out, that was supposed to be Brock that he was staring at.
Yeah.
And he eliminates himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun. It kind of broke some of because there was some cool stuff happening with Braun going 27 miles an hour and Ivar doing some stuff and Bronson was there. There was some cool stuff happening. Omos and Pat slowed it down. It was at a halt after this. And that's why even with the big people that are yet to come, it didn't pick back up.
No, it was, you're right, it slowed to a halt, but it also kind of took the mystique out of it because I think a lot of people got the flashbacks of when, remember the entire Raw the entire announce team entered the Rumble in 2012. That kind of killed that Rumble. And I think the same thing happened here because people know Pat can fight and would do shit in the ring, so they want him to do that. But the fact he's backing down and not fighting in it, I think that just killed all momentum they had with the crowd. And when you kill that momentum, especially that late in the night, You're essentially putting him to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. JD comes out, is speared before he gets into the ring, which leads into our boy coming back out at number 24. Tosses JD in, who gets clotheslined right back out. And then he wants a hot tag.
He's got to get tagged. Got to get tagged in. I love the reluctance of Dom until he actually needed it, and then he tagged out.
Yeah. Yet he knew that he could go right in the women's rumble.
Yeah.
But he 3 hours later.
He forgot.
I understand that. The rest, I'm not going to say the rest is the rest. The other return with Sammy, as we talked about. Punk showing up. He gets thank you. Listen, one of his big things, this is his first televised match, right?
Yeah.
What's one of Punk's big things when he comes out to the ring?
It's clobbering time. And
Good thing we saw the guy looking at his fucking phone.
They cut away as soon as he did it's. Maybe they didn't have the licensing for it.
Unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. How much stock have you put into the reports that they switched at mid-match? That it was Punk going to win it, and then he said, once he tore his tricep, obviously he said something to the referee. They called the audible.
Out there. He told
Jessica Carr that he did it. That's why, but he knew what he was doing. They had the right people in the scenario to make that work. But
yeah, imagine if Cody had been eliminated.
They did. It would have been, well, Drew was still hanging around. Who else is I know Sammy was still hanging around. Who was
Priest.
Gunther. Yeah, Gunther. That's right. I was trying to think of the one I picked. So then you're scrambling at that point. Who are you making a star? Are you giving it back to Drew? What are you doing at that point? Or do you get the win and then pivot off of it after that?
If you take the win, you can get injured on Raw.
Right.
And be out. And then whoever finishes first and second gets title shots at the Elimination Chamber, or there can be a pseudo quick little tournament on SmackDown for theirs or something.
Yeah. You make a star if you have to go that route with it.
But no, I don't believe it at all. I believe the way that it rolled out, I believe it was Cody's. And listen, as much as I sat here this week, and last week we bitched it, said, hey, it's going to be not Cody's time because of the game and yada, yada, yada. Let's fast forward to Raw so we can just talk about Raw and then bring all these thoughts that we both have to fruition, I guess, right?
Right.
All right, because there's so much we want to talk about. Raw we can go by quick because things happened, but it was about what didn't happen to me.
Okay.
Punk coming out, listen, here's the clip, he ripped my da-da-da-da-das, and Drew saying, I prayed for this. What a fucking bastard. I now love Drew McIntyre again.
Such an ass. And then it was, that whole promo was just one thing after another for Drew just becoming even more of a dick at that point. Not to mention what he was doing on Twitter afterwards when he was putting himself in the grave and then Punk's WrestleMania run and piecing it out and all that stuff.
He says, when Punk was talks about Chad Gilbert, his buddy, how the heroes are this, that, or the other. And he's like, even garbage men to talk about us all the time. He was talking about us.
I know he was. Listen, sometimes you got to shout out the greats.
I know. So Punk says to Drew, I will main event Mania one time in my career, but when I come back, I'm coming right after you. And then he gets his ass beat, and Sammy comes out, yada, yada, yada. which is good.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I understand legit injury, yada, yada, yada. So we shift there. Okay, love that. The rest, listen, you called it. Awesome Truths are going to be the tag team champions. DIY lost their chance. I thought maybe it was going to be a triple threat. DIY's done. I'm going to go fast. If you want anything, let me know.
Go for it.
Zoe and Shayna beat my girls. We'll come back to Cody. Jay and Bronson, Yeet wins. Andrade signs with Raw, which, okay, that kind of surprises me. Now, I mean, we'll see where Charlotte trickles then.
I think it'll force her to Raw. That also intrigues me because now it opens up. We don't know if Raw's staying on Mondays, moving later in the year, what it's going to be doing. So that also opens up a lot of different scenarios and interest around why did Andrade choose Raw? Why are we putting him on Raw? What is happening on Raw? Does it play into the match I think you're about at right now for the IC title? Is that the threat to the reign?
Possibly.
It's a legitimate threat.
It's a big comeback.
It's a big comeback, big threat, big everything.
That's a nice shift.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Gunther loses nothing unless he loses to Elias or somebody like that.
Right.
Losing to Andrade, no. And that helps. And I think that would be great. Becky got Plan B. Cool. Kofi Gunther match was good, but it was good.
It further solidified Gunther because you beat a former WWE champion. Now it also gets him in a perfect transition to get into that title picture. So it did exactly what it needed to do. The problem with Kofi is, he's still wrestling at a good level, but he's not the prime Kofi anymore. So it's not there. It's just not computing at that point.
We saw it at the Rumble when, listen, he's essentially, and I hate to say it, like just failed the last couple of years trying something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he had a chance to do whatever he was trying to do. I think he was eliminated accidentally early.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't even know if he is trying to do anything anymore because he had 2 years in a row where he failed at it.
Bad.
And I think he's just, is there a point to it now?
Right. Stop bringing it up then, though.
Yep, exactly. True.
That's the thing. Kabuki Warriors beat Tegan and Nat, yada, yada, yada. They want a rematch. Nonetheless, Bayley comes out and says she's ready for Rhea. Rhea comes out, makes a big stink, and she's like, I'll make an announcement on Friday.
Yeah.
So you guys know already, because we are not even to SmackDown in our time yet.
Yeah.
And then Sammy and Drew wins, which, okay, fine and dandy.
Which was interesting, because I thought they dragged that out the Chamber. I thought they'd push it to Chamber, unless they're going to have something in a Chamber match.
I can see them rekindling something in the Chamber.
Yeah.
Drew's clearly in the Chamber, right?
Right. He has to be. I think they put Sammy in, and that rekindles in the Chamber match.
Right. And then one more from Raw and 3 from SmackDown.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those will slowly be leaking here soon as well. All right. Back to the Cody thing, which was the thing that I said wasn't mentioned. He comes out. I did love everything that he did. Big 48 hours. He had a bad 48 hours.
Nice.
What was he talking about? Yada, yada, yada. Seth comes out. Don't make the mistake. This is the working man's title. This is the shift. This is the shift because earlier in the week, earlier that day, essentially, WWE and other people posted, listen, they're still trying to work out the way to get to Rock Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Punk's down. Seth clearly is going to be at Mania. Again, I'll use the horrible pun, limping into this match. You're getting Seth and Cody at Mania now.
Yeah. And I don't like it. Because the story that gets finished is on a wounded champion. Unless that is the play they're going to go with. And they say, you got your world title, but it was on a wounded champion. You haven't finished your story yet.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
He gets a title this year. It's the working man's title. He carries it, I don't know, for however long.
What if he, theoretically, carries it, let's say Survivor Series comes and goes, night after Survivor Series, takes it, drops it in a ring and says, I'm entering the Rumble, and I need to finish my story the way I want to finish my story.
I'm okay with that.
Surrenders one title to chase the other.
Wouldn't it, and I don't know if they announced all the pay-per-views this year, or PLEs, because they're all getting PLE in anymore, by the way. You notice everybody in WWE definitely does a PLE. It's no longer some of them mess up and say pay-per-view.
It's PLE.
They all get the PLE in, which I hate that, but whatever. Wouldn't a Night of Champions be amazing this year if this is the way that we're going to plan it out? Cody against Roman at Night of Champions in, I don't know, September?
Yeah.
Is that treating every record?
Yep. It's treating every PLE as its own spectacle, essentially. We know we have the big four, but we have these as spectacles, so now every month you can look forward to it. Cody and Roman doesn't need to be on the grandest stage of them all. Put them in Night of Champions. Let them do at it. Let them have at it. It should feel like it, at any point in time, the title can fall off of them.
Yeah.
This takes us right back to where it was 20-some years ago. When you're in the Attitude Era, any pay-per-view, somebody could lose a title. Somebody could
in your
fall.
House.
In your house.
And
yeah. In your house. Survivor Series, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The list goes on and on. Backlash, whatever it was, the title could change hands because it was just, the threat was there. Rekindle it. Don't save it for the big pay-per-views.
So you're mad about the Cody. I'm done. Anything else you want to bring up on Raw?
No. You're good, because we're on this now.
Speculation. As I said, we're getting Cody, Seth, which can, however, get The Rock there. That match, that's your Sunday night pay-per-view main event, da-da-da-da-da. It is a part of the story. It wasn't supposed to be. We're in inning number 8, essentially, then.
Oh, well, if he goes after Seth, I think you're not even at the 7th inning stretch at that point. Because think about it. I think the 7th inning, we're using baseball terms here, people. The 7th inning stretch is
Roman and Heyman did. That's why I brought it up.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, I'm just being smartass about it. But you're not even at 7th inning. The 7th inning stretch is saying he loses that world title, whether it is by dropping it in the center of the ring and vacating it, or it's losing it to Gunther. He's losing that title and saying, I have the rest of the story to finish. The 8th inning is when he gets to Rumble and hits the home run to get him in the match.
He's the only person that wins it 3 times.
3 times. I think they might be planning for that. 3-time Rumble winner in a row. He ties Austin, gets the story completed, faces Roman.
At 41, wherever it's at. They've announced it, but I forgot.
Yeah, where did they announce? I don't know.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, wasn't it?
Maybe. Yes, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, there's ties there.
There is ties. Oh, shit, there's a lot of ties there. More ties than Philly.
A lot more ties than Philly, so I'm okay with, and I know you said wounded wrestler. Listen, Seth needs time off.
Well, he does.
I mean, for whatever.
Yeah. Well, he's got to get his affairs in order if he's leaving in June.
Right. Essentially.
Yeah.
So Cody gets it. This is the way that we're going to get Rock. This wasn't written this way. This was not the way it was. I believe it was going to be Punk until Seth got hurt.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And then Punk gets hurt. Less than 24 hour scramble. This is what we have to do now.
Yep. I think they were putting in the thought of Gunther taking on Seth because that would be a better match to have than Punk. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they could say, okay, when Seth's healthy, he can carry a match against Punk. But now you can't. You had Punk got injured, so now it's like, well, we might as well just completely blow up the script and go, the story needs to happen against Seth.
So you brought up Gunther. How long does he hold then? Is it, we've just said Andrade. Can they build Andrade up to a wrestling fan that remembers him from what, 4 years?
4 years. 4 years and a half, yeah.
4 years. Do they remember Andrade? Does he have the rep? What's the word the kids use? The Riz. Does he have the Riz? Isn't that what they're using? I don't know.
It's the charisma. I mean, it's short for charisma, so I don't know if it's the right term there.
Whatever. Does he have that yet within 2 months to get to Gunther and be the man that takes on Gunther?
I mean, that's a great question, but I think at the same time, the way they're booking people now, absolutely, he only needs 2 months.
Okay.
Because it's just a refresher course at this point.
Do we now reach out to somebody else, a la Cena, and say, we might need you to do something at Mania now because we've just essentially thrown 4 matches out the window that we've had.
Yeah.
And Brock never got to step his foot into the door to take on Dom. We need that big mid-card Legends match.
If it's not that, then it's maybe he just steps in as a surprise. Beats up Dom. Roughs up Dom a little bit. Or they kick something off for him and Dom going into the pay-per-view.
Right.
Yeah, that could be too.
I mean, there's last week when we were making our predictions, we had questions that we answered ourselves.
Yeah.
Now we're questioning our questions because of what happened. And I mean, totality-wise of injuries, allegations, oh shits. This is fucking amazing.
It is. Well, it's the old Piper adage. Every time you think you have the answers, they change the questions. They change the questions on us big time.
But they didn't want to.
They didn't want to, but they had to.
Yeah. So I'm intrigued. Where does Jade go as well? I mean, she had Nia, but she has Bianca.
It's the WrestleMania match, her and Nia. You embarrassed me. Nia doesn't get to beat Rhea. You embarrassed me. Nia's the first victim of Jade. I don't know. Or is it Bianca because Bianca's power versus power?
Honest engine, I'd rather have Bianca Jade at Mania.
I would agree.
Do you have anything else, WWE?
Nothing else WWE right now. This is going to be very interesting the next week. Obviously till Mania, but the next week in general, there's going to be a lot coming up. There's going to be more questions piled on, I think, than answers.
As SmackDown is starting right now, they're just showing a recap, by the way.
Yeah.
So you're watching. They're just showing a recap and everything, but I imagine something's coming out of this. I think Bayley's announcement is kind of altered again tonight.
Yep.
these announcements for Rumble may not happen for a while.
They might linger.
I don't think Cody comes on next week and says, all right, Seth, let's go.
Well, but that's the $1 million question, though, because you have to book Chamber. It has to happen before, at some point.
I forget what day. I know I'm waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, but what day is the Chamber?
24th.
So we got 2 weeks.
They'll announce.
Yeah, but they'll announce it next week.
Maybe.
You have to.
Yeah, well.
Because how long? I mean, I know it doesn't take a week to get to Perth, but
12,
you have to
16-hour flight, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. And we come back, we'll, because there's so many questions to answer, we'll deep dive into AEW for 30 seconds.
What's going on, you guys? This is the CEO of Shane Taylor Promotions and the baddest of all time, Shane Taylor, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast.
Well, now it's time for us to finish our story. So here we go. Segment 3. It's AEW. Welcome back to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I didn't really have anything original to come up with this week. I got to get back on that game. But here we go.
You know why?
Why?
AEW hasn't had anything original. Listen, the last couple of weeks, I don't know if it's me. I really don't. I want to get this before we dive into some of this. Is it me or is it across the board? I just don't know if it's hitting.
I think it's trying to flirt with the line to hit, but it's not getting there yet. You know what I mean? But I also think it lost. It's trying too hard. It was trying too hard to match the luster of the Rumble on Saturday night to steal viewers away. But I think also it failed to kind of recapture people back on Dynamite as well. Like Dynamite had some.
There was moments in both.
That were good, but Collision, it was like, let's get there. How do we get there? Dynamite, same thing. There was moments in both, but there's also moments where it's like, I don't know if this is what I want to see right now.
Yeah. That's exactly where I am. And I don't know if it's, oh, hi, Max, you're staying here. I don't know if it is the rankings that we're putting too much emphasis on, because that's a storyline. As much as people were like, well, there's no storylines now, because I may have gotten into a beef with some people over, like, the rankings. I'm a fan of the rankings. I like it. But people were like, well, that's not a ranking. You're just going to go by numbers. You know, blah, blah, blah. It's a storyline. Wrestling's wrestling, okay? And I'm not going to fourth wall it or anything, but I think you know the rankings are
the rankings. Yeah.
I could be on the rankings if it's done right.
Right.
So I'll leave it at that. I don't know. I think we lived a year-long story with them, and it may happen in WWE after the Bloodline. It may happen. We lived a year-long devil thing with them. I don't know if this is just the intermission, in as much as there's other matches on Revolution next month. Revolution's really still only about one thing, and they say it every week.
Yeah. You were just taking the point right out of my mouth. Revolution's about Sting, and Sting alone. There's nothing on Revolution that's going to steal the show away from Sting's last match.
And that bothers me for one person. And I hope he doesn't get there. And we'll get there. When we end Dynamite.
Right. Yeah.
Because to have that moment overshadowed by Sting.
If it's even the possibility.
Right. And maybe it's this too. I don't need BCC and or Mox, whatever, starting every show. Rewind last week. He started both this week.
Well, I think there's opportunities if they do, like Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty. That's a new matchup. I'll take Mox and Claudio. Fantastic. Mox versus Jeff is not. And then they were like, oh, they're being really lax with the rules today.
Yeah.
Because you needed something to draw people in because nobody wanted to watch Mox and Jeff.
Versus Jeff.
That's not a match people wanted.
First time ever, though.
Well, that's great, but that's 10 years too late.
20 for one member.
I'll give it 15 when he won the world
Let's
title.
go in the middle. 15. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I did like, they are pushing Shane Taylor, though. They listened to us. He did look good.
Mm-hmm.
I only wrote the bad things about the BCC after Dynamite because of
what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was okay with that. Orange and Commander, listen, out of the shit show that he had to pick from on Rampage the night before, we knew what we were getting last week before the match even happened.
I honestly thought we were getting Cassidy Vikingo. And then when Commander was the pick, I was like, okay. I know they're pushing Commander a lot more, but Vikingo, I guess he's tailed off in popularity and how hot he is, so they're just kind of meddling with it a bit. Yeah. I don't know.
I think Orange wins.
Yep.
Roddy and the boys are out. Yada, yada, yada. This is too long, too. I'm really sour right now on AEW. I'll just be bland. It's too long for Orange and Roddy to drag this out.
Is it too long because I don't think Roddy can carry something this long.
Right. That's exactly right. It's nothing against Orange.
No, it's Roddy.
Yeah.
Which is not good because if Roddy's winning the title at Revolution, then that's going to be a very long, boring title reign.
I believe it is. I believe it's going to be set up like that, though, too.
Yeah. And maybe that's what they wanted to do is because Orange was a workhorse. He did this, he fought this, and this, and he had such climatic matches, whether you like it or not, that they want to have the workhorse champion then become a polar opposite.
The separation of Orange to Roddy. The title defenses are going to be minute compared to every week.
Yep. Going to be once a month Rampage, once a month, maybe a Collision here, maybe a Dynamite, maybe on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because they're going to...
You can't rinse and repeat after every title. You see it across wrestling.
Right.
San Martino has it for so long. The next champion's keeping it at a hot minute.
Yeah.
You get those changes that you didn't get in a 20-year span or whatever the hell it was. You know, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
That's where you get, oh my God, wrestling is, fans are gnats.
Mm-hmm.
We're gnats. I'm a gnat. It's cool if there's something built for me. But if it's the same, it gets old quick. Yep. So if once Roman drops this title, if the next person has it for 3 years, well, okay, that's rinse and repeat. You just did it.
And you don't, and because the storyline that they do for that, it's not going to be there to carry that like they did with Roman. Now, when we talk about Roddy and Orange, maybe this is to your point, it's a good thing because you go from Orange Cassidy, who's supposed to be a sloth, lazy, nothing, who's a fan favorite and everybody loves him, to Roddy, who's vanilla.
Yeah.
Dry vanilla, I'm here to work, yell Adam's name, and then
everybody's name anymore.
Everybody's name
That's
anymore.
getting annoying too. Roddy's really starting to grind my gears.
Yeah.
And that's what he's supposed to be doing.
Exactly. He's supposed to be grinding your gears because his only part of this shtick is him yelling people's names and then putting on his methodical, technical wrestling matches. Because OC, entertaining, can be high-flying, can be climatic. Mox, brutal, beat you up. Ray got the title for a hot minute because it just happened, and he was all very flashy. Once he gets it back, Roddy is a workhorse, but he's on a different atmosphere than what those four were playing with.
Technical.
Oh.
So you'll see, yeah. And it's okay. Mariah gets a win over Lady Frost. I really hope Lady Frost has a huge year. I really do. ROH or something. She sniffs something. She has been putting in so much time. Her and her husband are in Australia right now wrestling. As we record. She's in Australia doing some stuff, which is awesome. Kingston against Willie Mack. Listen, I didn't watch it. I really didn't. It was just, didn't catch my gear.
It was what it was. I mean, two guys going at it, just kind of hitting each other and all that. But with Kingston, the story isn't the matches he's having. The story is what happens after the matches. When Danielson walks out to the ring and doesn't acknowledge him at all, that's the story. So Willie Mack, you're just plugging and playing at this point. Trent, Willie, whoever, it's plug and play.
So let them be a little bit quicker.
They should be a little bit quicker, but I get what Tony's trying to do and giving them showcase time. But to your point, quick it. Let's go. Boom.
Trim the commercials from 2 to 1.
Yeah.
And I'll be okay with it.
Right.
Because, yes, the match at Revolution is going to be Kingston and Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
Danielson gets his first essential AEW title.
Because this is going to be a downfall of Kingston at this point.
And the goodbye of Danielson.
Exactly. He'll get the Continental Classic crown, carry it for a little while, drop it, and then he'll have one last hurrah at All Out.
Yeah.
All in, whatever.
It's in England?
Is it?
Yeah.
I missed that memo. I wish I would have caught that memo.
Yeah. If you want to pre-order tickets, it's like the alphabet plus the Roman numerals. All of them.
Man, I better start brushing up on all of that.
Danielson and Nagata was great, though.
It was great. It was very good.
I loved it. Again, just a hell of a match. Eddie and commentary was good, though. I'm not saying I hate any hate, but that's where he is. Him telling that story then was great.
Yep. But that's exactly, Eddie came out, he wrestled, he did what he needed to do. Again, it's after the Eddie matches, that's when things pick up, and this was a perfect example. He was he was talking his game, snapping it up. He had everything he needed to do to line up a match with Danielson and put it over, while Danielson is throwing 55-year-old Nagata around the ring and Yuji going for it, man.
Yes, he was.
Get after it, bud. Looks like he hadn't lost a step at that point.
I love all the older wrestlers from Japan that come over because, yes, Danielson is the heel in this match, essentially, but they are all about the crowds when they get here. Like, Nagata again, waving to people, hey, ho, hey! Who was it? Ibushi?
Yeah, Ibushi.
Was, like, playing with a teddy bear a couple months, they're so happy to be over here and give the fans their experience because, listen, 95% of us can't go over there.
Yeah. And, well, think about it. That's why Suzuki keeps showing up over here because we sing his theme song and we're loving every minute of it, and he's throwing hard-hitting matches. People are natural. They need that admiration. They need that feeling. Japan is a very cultured style, very much you're quiet during matches, you don't do much during matches, and that you come over here, it's like an adrenaline kick in the nuts at that point, just getting you hyped up and all that. You're feeling it, right?
Yeah.
It's like when my ass going crazy at Dynamite or a Collision in Erie. It was one of the things. That's why we were blacked out in the crowd, I think. But
I think so too.
Because it was giving the adrenaline just was pumping at that point.
Deeb against Renegade. Deeb quick, showcased her.
Perfect.
But it was more about she's back, she's coming, da-da-da-da-da. I thought it was perfect. Definitely perfect. I want to see where she goes here in the future. I think it's a tough a tough tread for her to get to the title picture with the moving parts. But of course you say that. You don't say, I'm here to wrestle. That's it.
Yeah.
But
she's going to be, it's how everything shakes out. We're getting Deanna at some point.
I think
when
so.
it is, I don't know, but at some point there's going to be an extended rivalry between these two, and I think one of them's going to end in a submission match. I think.
The entire story, I think, ends in
the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we get into the meat and potatoes of Collision. We skipped over promos and stuff of Brian Cage calling out Hook, and Danny, we'll link this back, gets his ass kicked backstage. We don't know by who. He's just bloodied up. Briscoe says, I'll take over for you. And I thought, that was cool. Maybe that was the way they got Danny out of this. Give Briscoe some comeuppance. I've been one saying, okay, maybe Briscoe, but this is a Briscoe match, right?
Yeah.
Then he gets taken out. I was like, I was kind of mad.
Yeah. Which is understandable because I thought it was weird the way they were doing the entrances, and then they threw up House of Black right afterwards to throw him off the stage. I was like, I wanted Briscoe, I wanted him in it, but at the same time, I'm like, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense that since you put Danny in this position, because to me, it should have been Mark Briscoe from the very beginning of this whole rivalry. Garcia shouldn't have been anywhere near this. But you got to get the Garcia trope where he's coming out with his head wrap below his eyes. Because when he came out, that was exactly my thought. I'm like, how is he seeing at this fucking? This wrap is halfway over his eyes. I don't know what the hell he's looking at.
He looked like the Yeti.
He did look like the Yeti. All he needed was a fucking strings hanging off of his arm coming down to the ring. Anyways.
I love this match. The stories were told in the match. I loved how each time one went out, two went out. So then it was like, okay, I instantly thought, we are getting the Hogan-Orndorff ending of the cage match on Saturday Night's Main Event in whatever 80s, where they're both jumping off the cage at the same time. We have to look at video footage, yada, yada, yada. This is going to continue for a while. That's once I saw the 2-2s go out, I'm like, yes. Instant, when there was time in between, so I'm like, cool. I understand where they're going with this to continue this. But they didn't go that way.
Nope.
And I was okay with it that way, too. Briscoe comes out, slams the door in his head, and stays.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, so now I'm going to play this card. That miss from Julia Hart. Does this affect Garcia? I mean, granted, he had his bandage over his eyes, so he's fine. Should have been fine, theoretically. But is this going to start playing a thing on Garcia now?
I hope so. We've said I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Like, because right now, my biggest complaint with Daniel Garcia is outside of the tournament, he's just been kind of acting like he's bouncing from team to team and all that. And he doesn't need to be. He just needs to be by himself. Let him do his thing. Does this let him do his thing, or does it just bounce him into another group at this point? Is this a Sky Blue transformation, or is this he gets absorbed into the House of Black because he's got to replace two members that might be leaving?
And I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to. Buddy came out and said our contract is till 2027.
Yeah. But they're jobbing.
Whomever.
But they hate jobbing, by the way.
They do hate driving. They're till 2027, so they're not leaving anytime soon. Wherever you get your information from is bullshit. And I'm not sure if it was Sean Ross or whatever one. I believe it was SRS though.
Yeah, it could have been. I can't remember.
But he's like, I don't know where you're getting this from. Yada yada yada. Or till 2027. And what are you talking about that we don't put people over?
Yeah.
They've lost a lot of matches.
Yeah, he circled his win-loss record in 2023 or whatever it was, and he's like, it's 1-3. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not saying I'm not putting somebody over.
Brody's putting Danny over right now, each and every night.
Brody put him over in the tournament. He's been building him up to your point, every single night. House of Black's not sitting here they're being the heels, but they're putting people over as the heels like a heel should do.
Right.
And looking strong while they do it. That's
Extremely
it.
Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to your point, I hope it's a full-on turn.
Yeah.
Not a sky blue turn where I still don't she's associated with Julia.
Yeah.
She's bad now. But I don't think she's
full on
in the sisterhood that we had called it. So good collision moments that Dynamite pissed me off from the get-go about the Mox and Jeff thing. We talked about that. But we're getting to CML against BCC, clearly.
CML looked like they were the Radicals busting up into the ring on Mox. And then so somehow the BCC's just not there tonight. And now Mox has the respect of the locker room because there's 4 randos that come out and save him.
Parker, Andrade, Daddy Magic. Who was the other one?
Shit. There's a 8-man with him in it tonight. I can't think of it. Hold on.
Curryman. What the hell's Curryman's name? Christopher Daniels. I don't know why I remember Curryman. Thank you. Thank you very much. First time we've probably mentioned Curryman ever on this show. I saw a Slim Jim commercial too. That's why it made me kind of go to.
It made you remember Curryman.
But can I say this was ruined before they even showed that they were in the crowd? That this was going to happen?
Because they kept advertising.
Danielson against
with one of their
one of them.
Hichiro.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. I don't whatever one. So you knew something was happening with them as soon as they showed them. And I know, that they're plants, What the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's going to be all out BCC against them at some point.
Oh, yeah. Probably in Japan, because if you look at Mox's promo that he just cut online, he said, what happens if we come to your arena and do this? So I think it could end up in CMLL just to cause mischief and all of that stuff. He also said that around throwing shade at lazy wrestlers and other companies, but we don't need to get into that talking point right now or anytime soon. But
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Hangman against Leona then. We knew about this match as it was Swerve's pick. He picked it last week. Hard-fought victory. And in these 2 matches that we're going to put next to next, because we'll talk about Swerve's real quick too.
Yeah.
We knew who was going to win.
Right.
Essentially, right?
Yeah.
We knew Hangman. They were not going to, especially the rankings, they weren't dropping a match in 2024 yet.
No.
Hangman wins easy. I mean, it was hard fought, but he wins easy.
He wins it. He won it. This was better than it could have been. But yeah, Mustache Man won this easily. There's never a doubt in anybody's mind.
Hangman doesn't announce his, I guess, until he comes out. He's cut promos on every show up into it. You have to wait till the whole fucking show to find out who your guy is. He's 420 friendly. Who's pretty much gave it away. What the hell is his name? Commentating. The mask guy.
Yeah, Excalibur.
Pretty much gave it away that it was RVD.
So
if you didn't know.
You froze it. It was just so distracting. I was trying to figure out. I was trying to go back and forth with that. But yeah, it was Excalibur. And then when Taz goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know that guy pretty well. That kind of threw it for a loop as well. So it's like, okay, so we're definitely, you knew it.
RVD's kicks damage more teeth than gingivitis. Did you
I got that.
I love that. They caught Joe a few times on camera watching and enjoying the match when he's supposed to be just vile.
Yeah.
Just smiling like, oh man, this is a great match. And it was a good match.
It was.
No, never did I think Swerve wasn't going to win.
No. This was clearly RVD was putting him over. That was it. I'm glad, though, I did like this, like a better term, the Swerve, where it was Hangman saying, well, we never said we had to do a singles match, so it's a hardcore match. Like, that was a nice swerve to it all. It was outthinking your opponent before inevitably probably falling to your opponent next week on Dynamite. Which is what that might happen. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that.
I would imagine.
I would think.
Brian Cage getting involved, Hook coming out. That wasn't needed.
No.
I mean, I understand he's part of the Mogul. Hook, because of the whole that, whatever. Yeah. But boom, like, it's next week. He challenged him 30 seconds ago. And you have, and this is production, this is Mark. You would not have the graphic ready.
No, you wouldn't.
Just announce it. Have the graphic ready for Rampage.
Yep.
In Collision.
But
don't have it the night of the show.
Agreed. Let it be. Let it happen. And just, it's got to have the organic feeling of, oh, he just asked for it. Let's get some continuity around it.
Yeah. And it's little things that are making me mad in AEW right now. Wardlow against Commander.
You mean Mr. Wardlow?
Mr. Wardlow. Mr. Mayhem Wardlow. Wardlow wins. Never did I think. I do think he tweaked his knee, though.
Oh, he did something to his knee really bad. Commander shouldn't have given him that much issue with just one power bomb. That was just too. Yeah.
Something happened.
Something bad happened.
You ruined the next match as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jericho against Fletcher, which I was excited for because I'm a huge Kyle Fletcher fan. With the stipulation of if Jericho wins, he finally gets Takeshita. 15 minutes earlier, you've showed me that it's next week.
And they did that on Collision, too. There was nothing. Nothing that was indicated that it was, if he beats Kyle Fletcher, he gets Takeshita. It was just a match. It was just a match 2 weeks out. So why was this stipulation now? Like, how did that change?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Continuity.
There's no such thing.
There's none around some of these. Maybe the Undisputed Kingdom's getting it with Roddy and, even Wardlow and Adam to keep that going around the title. Hangman and Swerve are getting it. Every other match is just like, here it is. We're going to just add it as we go. And
yep.
Here's next week's match before we even get to the end of this. You're giving too much away. I was hoping Jericho would win so we could get this Takeshita match. It's been teased for 6-7 months now.
Exactly.
Have Takeshita come out and cause the disqualification that he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's something.
I mean, it makes sense. Well, it makes sense because we haven't had disqualification in AEW in at least 2 years or so, which is good. That's a great thing. But make it happen. Like, give it some flavor behind it. Don't let it just marinate in it's just Chris Jericho versus another rookie again, or young guy again.
He's your ROH champion, TV champion.
Yeah. Give Kyle Fletcher the light of day. Let him cook. Let him get something. Get something out of it, but they wouldn't do it.
No. Jericho's back from his cruise. He picks up the win.
Boom.
There. We told you already that the match is going to happen, so we have to make it happen.
Yep, exactly. There's no holding this up.
Listen, we love the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. We love them.
It was an unnecessary segment.
This was stupid. This was outright stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They said we're the best 6-man teams around here for the last year. Well, that's a lie. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang just won it 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
No, it's accurate. I mean, what is this just a turn on them? Why are we doing this? Like, there's not even any interaction with the Undisputed Kingdom now.
None. That story that they were gonna take over the kingdom is gone. It's between them about who gets the right cardboard cutout right.
Yeah. There's a card blade, juice blade, whatever blade, juice powered. I don't know what.
This juice board. This was really to waste 5 minutes because we went short on something.
Yeah. That's probably accurate.
Deanna and Taya was good. I enjoyed that. I forget that Johnny TV is her husband and still in AEW.
I couldn't because last week I saw the clip of him sliding backwards against. By the way, Dalton, buddy, we gotta get you some help. The latest entrance, he didn't even want to wake up for the ring. The boys had to carry him out, drag him out, push him out.
What's it gonna take him to get over this hump? Like, do we have to get him on P90X or?
He's got to get his match. He's just got to get his match with Johnny TV. If he gets this match with Johnny TV, how excited does he run out to the ring?
It better be the greatest entrance he's done.
It's going to have to be the most ecstatic, over-the-top, flamboyant that he has ever been. There's got to be 15 boys. It needs to happen.
Revolution?
Maybe.
Because it's a pay-per-view and he really gets jonesed up then?
I would love that, but do they put ROH on the AEW pay-per-view? Or do they save this until March when I believe there is a ROH pay-per-view at least coming up?
End of March, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Renee and Darby, Matthew and Nicholas come in. Darby's ducking them. So let me take this, because we've had the promo to sit down with Sting, Darby, Big Bill, and Starks, essentially, that we didn't break down, but you'll get the gist of it. Are we winning tag team championships? Are they winning the titles?
I think they are. And then it's immediately going to Matthew and Nicholas.
At Revolution. So we're not giving Sting the win at Revolution.
No. I think Sting's putting over the Young Bucks at Revolution.
Did they need put over?
Maybe it's a thanks for bringing me back and giving me a job.
Yeah, I'm
and
again,
that would fit right into the Matthew Nicholas storyline.
It would.
Great legend just put us over because we just gave him a job because we felt bad for him. Could you imagine that for 3 months?
I would love it.
I would too.
I said the douchery bucks are the best bucks there are out there.
Fining people $500 a piece just in the parking lot, some randos.
I didn't think Sting was going to get a title in AEW.
But, well, let's flip this around. Is it a swerve? is it a swerve for them to cost Sting a title and cost him a match in AEW?
And that's when they finally challenged them.
Yeah.
For the last match. That's a good way too, though.
Because then they're not undefeated anymore coming into the match. Sting could go out on a high horse by beating the Bucks. Then they can make Darby's
This is probably his last match until Revolution. He'll have his appearance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Next week is his last match until Revolution.
Yep, 100%.
I like yours better than mine. I really do. Listen, we're there that the match is going to happen.
Yeah.
From the douchery. But to add that extra layer that I've cost you the match. You are not a legend. I'll show you how much of a legend I am. I'll kick your ass at Revolution. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be false count anywhere. It'll be chicanery so that they can throw Darby off of a cliff if they wanted to.
Right.
And then one of the Bucks...
It is at Greensboro, right?
Yeah, it's at Greensboro. Yeah, I think it's at Greensboro, I think. Don't quote me on that. It's at the soundstage in Atlanta. Let's get it right.
Yes! I wanted to go there so many times. We drove to Florida from Pennsylvania each time that we went because neither parent wanted to fly. So we drove from our house to Fort Myers, and I'm like, hey, we're going to be in the vicinity of Atlanta. Can we please go to the soundstage, the Omni, whatever the hell they called it.
Yeah.
Well, the Omni was the arena, but TBS Studios, essentially. I just wanted to walk in and out.
Yeah.
Just to say that I was there. I mean, we were hours away, but we're less than 24 hours away. Could never get him to stop. I'm so angry about that. That was the time that I only I'm still the only one in the family that likes wrestling, but Mom at least watched Magnum TA or Dusty or something like that when it was on.
Yeah.
Brother and Dad. That's all I got on AEW.
Yeah, I got nothing else. I mean, hopefully it rebounds going into Revolution next week. Hangman and Swerve obviously is going to be a great match. We'll see what the douchery crew can do for Sting and Darby, but maybe it ignites next week. We're going to have to see.
It's got to. It's got to. Listen, I buy it no matter what.
Right.
But you have to tell me why, besides Sting's last match.
Why it's important. Why should I be there? Because Sting's last match is not going to be this barn burner 60-minute classic. Sting's last match is a spectacle match right now because it's going to end his career.
Right. Then that's where I was going to put it in the crushes for 2024. No matter if it's a technical match, so much is built around it that it's not a match anymore.
Yep. There's too much.
Spectacle.
Yep. There's too much. There's going to be too many people around. Just thought about the Bucks are going to super kick Ric Flair in Greensboro probably. So that'll be interesting. But.
And I still, before we say goodbye, I still can't imagine that this is going to be the main event. But it's got to be.
Maybe.
I mean, no matter who wins Wednesday, or Hangman against Joe.
If it's the main event, nobody's winning the title. No titles change hands.
Maybe early in the night. Between Orange and Roddy.
Maybe that one. But no, Swerve's not taking the title off Joe.
Mm-mm. No.
Watch that become a triple threat.
I've said that from day one.
Yeah.
That it's going to be a triple threat. Something's going to happen next week. I didn't think we were getting this match to get into the triple threat. I thought they were just go standings. You both are number one contenders. There's the thing. Something's happening next week that there's not a match.
Yeah.
That's my bold prediction, that there's not a winner, there's not a loser. There might be fighting, but they both just go.
Yeah.
Joe gets pissed off at both of them and just says, fuck you, I'll take you both on.
Yep, exactly. Takes them both down.
Because Joe taking, if it is the main, Joe taking loss to either one of them propels both of them. Doesn't hurt Joe whatsoever because it's a 3-man match.
Right.
Joe can't be hurt anyway. So,
yeah.
Hangman takes a loss. He might trickle back down. Swerve takes a loss. I don't think that's the right thing
that hurts
to be doing.
Yeah. That hurts Swerve too much for that to happen.
Yeah. I agree. What do you got going on this week?
House in order, and that's about it coming up this week. Nothing too crazy going on. What about you? What do you got coming up?
2, possibly 3 interviews that I've rearranged. Definitely 2 games. An early podcast. A healthy dog.
Love it.
I don't know what else. Clearly stupid stuff like work and everything, but
and power washing, but things happen.
And I'm taking a break. I want to see what I can do with this Bears team.
The Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Get them to a town you can pronounce. I got it. By the way, there's no Eskimos listed on the names that I looked up on the ball. There's Huskies. I think there's a Yeti in there, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, well then.
Possibly a Yeti. I might be getting your head out.
Is there Huskies in Alaska? I mean,
yeah, because they have the dog race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Huskies could work. That doesn't sound too bad.
Anchorage Yetis.
Yeah, that's a little.
I guess I'm gonna have to look at logos then. I want blue. I think.
I think you have to go blue. Blue would make sense for that. I'm trying to look again what the Elks. You could be an elk if you wanted
to. That's too close to my high school.
Oh, okay.
You were the Elkers.
Snowhawks. That's not a real thing, so that could be a pretty nice little one.
It's as real as putting an NFL team in Anchorage.
That's 100% accurate. Take your time, look at it. This is just a list of it. So I just looked at a list of them. I'll see what you can come up with. I will not
be the Black Knights again. Because the Black Knights are now dubbed to Virginia Beach, by the way.
Just be the Anchorage Blues. I don't know what that logo is, but
I hope it's Bluey. It would be amazing if EA worked with Bluey.
Hey, you know what?
The logo.
they had to use Lucky. Bluey was because Bluey's a child, so they had to use Lucky.
Whatever. You know what I meant. Remember, just because we're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage cannot. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
4 legs or 2, because you never know.
Whoop whoop.